Well, hey there, basic business students, hoping all is well. I still cannot kick my sickness, and so I'm home for yet another day, but I'm glad we got as set up as we did on Friday, because I think you'll be able to rip through this with no problem today. The first thing you should have done was your weekly checkbook or bank activity. I know it seems kind of back to back, but it was just Wednesday now to Monday, and I thought today would be a good day for you to do that. And you, of course, could spend some time on the online banking simulation if you haven't finished that. Just remember, it's not due for a couple weeks, but as soon as you finish it, send it in to me. I want you to, have a good relationship with your calculator today, because it's going to get a workout. What we finished on Friday was this. We put in each of our employees from their time cards. We brought over their regular hours, their overtime hours, and their gross pay hours. Excuse me. So we did that for all 10 employees. It's time to start working on the deduction section. I'm going to actually skip around a little bit because I want to do that federal withholding tax column, not right away. So if you look, all these deductions out of Quita Lampert's time card are going to chop away at that $700. And then we're going to start with the really easy ones, the ones that say percentages. So like, for example, if I take 700 times 6%, the state government is going to chop up $42 of that 700. So you can put these numbers in, but I just want to explain where I'm getting them. I'm taking 6% times the gross pay, and that state gets $42. I see 2% under city, so I'd take 700 times 2%, $14 will go to the city. FICA, as we know, covers Medicare and Social Security. They break that down into smaller percentages. So 700 times 1.45% is $10.15. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest hundredth or the nearest penny. 6.2% of 700 is $43.40. And so you didn't have to look at their time cards for that. It's just all right there. I think I go on to... Oh, okay. But speaking of time cards, you'd actually want to look at Quita's time card and see, did she take money out for health insurance? And is there anything listed on other? I believe if I look at Quita's time card, she had $49 taken out for health insurance, and I'm seeing that at the top. And under other, which we've talked about all the other deductions, this time card's pretty generic. It just says other. And of course, it shows Quita having $0 taken out. If I'm looking at time cards, I noticed our next employee, number 2, Glenn Gerio, didn't do health insurance, but has a $20 other deduction. So it will change. So that really rounds out all the deductions except federal withholding. Federal withholding, of course, is going to go to Washington, D.C., and Uncle Sam will figure out what to do with our money. And remember, it's based on 3 things. Gross pay, so that's $700, their marital status, and the exemptions that they claimed. So 700 is easy. I need to go to my time card for Quita Lampert again and see what the other 2 are. It shows that she's single, and here's a spoiler alert, all 10 of our employees are single. So you're only going to see the single tax tables. And she is claiming 0, which means they, meaning the federal government, are going to take more money out of her paycheck. Remember, the more exemptions you claim in that number, the smaller amount that's going to go to the government, or the more money you'd get to keep. So what are we going to use to figure this out? There are federal withholding tables, and they're updated annually. The book provides some that are probably pretty dated, but if you go into your packets and the pages that have lots and lots and lots of little numbers and they're all in columns, is where we're going to look. So you got to remember the 3 things. Quita has $700 gross pay. She is single, so are all of them, and she claimed 0 for exemptions. So I just have a little screenshot of just the small part right here. There's 2 columns. At least and then but less than. So if you scroll way down, we're looking for Quitta's gross pay. I see 700 listed there twice. It's got to be the at least. You know, I see 700 listed twice. You always want to go with the bottom number, the one that's at least 700. Okay, we know, so that's 700 in gross pay. We know she's single. And then the first column, I see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 10. The first column lists $77 is going to be taken out of her paycheck for federal. Now, had she claimed one, and I don't want to confuse you, but had she claimed one, she would only had 59 taken out. So in other words, that bigger the number, the bigger her paycheck would be. But because she claimed 0, we're going to list it as 77. So under federal withholding tax, we bring over that number. So then, unfortunately, we're not done. This is just one employee. Imagine if we had 1,000 employees, how invasive the payroll department would have jobs. But anyway, now we're going to figure out her take-home pay. So we're going to take a look at her gross pay. Oh, and by the way, we add up all those deductions. So 77, 42, 14, 10, 15, all the way over. They total $235.55. So started with 700. Started with 700 minus the total of all of her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, kind of 7 because that's 0. 7 deductions to equal her net pay. So again, I took 700 minus the total deductions to equal the net pay. So you have to do that for all of your employees. I think if you're diligent, you can get this done today, meaning Monday. I do want to give you a couple key answers because I think if you get off in your numbers, that can be kind of detrimental. So at the very bottom, and I don't have this on my little handout here. I just go down this far. But you'll notice after employees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 10, and it skips a couple lines, and you've got totals. You actually have to ring those totals up all the way across. And I'm going to give you a couple key answers. So I'm just going to back out and just do a new slide here. So I'll just say key answers. I'm going to give you your total federal number. So I just told you that Quitta had 77. I'm going to give you a hint. The next one's going to be 32. But then when I get done and I go all the way to the bottom and add those up, it's going to be $754. Excuse me. That would be Quitta's and Gwen's and all the way down, adding them up for $754. That's one pretty important key answer. I'll give you the total deductions. So the total for the total deductions. I know it thinks I put total in twice because I did, but it's called the total. For the total of deductions, $2,262.75. 2262.75. And I'll give you the total for net pay. That number is $5,211.70. $5,211.70. So if I head back over here, just to recap, you are going to figure out all of the ones that are percentages. You're going to look at their time cards for health and other, and then you'd look at that table to figure out federal. My suggestion is this. Work vertically, do all the 6% and then all the 2 percentages. It's sometimes kids like that because it's just easier that way. You all are going to have to do this individually, but certainly check with your neighbor to make sure you're getting the right math. And if you by chance get this beast done, staple it and turn it in the turn-in box. Otherwise, I can devote a little bit of time on Tuesday to having that happen. So as always, you guys are great. Thanks for being awesome. I just thought a little video here would help. So happy Monday.